level, change my number on these bitches. Watch a love turn to hate, so it's fuck you other niggas.
Episode
See, baby,
21.
kinda just rad.
sir.
Stand on they neck, baby, mine's full of diamonds. I can't quit for nothing, man, I swear a nigga tried it. I was just a product boy surrounded by the violence. She was getting curious about the cup, I let her try it. Every day I'm thankful about the streets, cause I survived it. We don't run for nothing unless a nigga chasing dollars.
Excuse him.
Yeah, excuse the messages.
That happened every time. It seemed like.
I'm sorry, I thought it was the dip.
What up, y'all? I go by the name of Ski. Fat Tummy Ski. Your girl love me like Flat Tummy T. Hey, man. AKA Mr. Cozy Wear. You see the sweatpants. Here with both of my co-hosts and 2/3 of the podcast. You go by the name of Sport. Play in all fields and all courts, AKA Jeff Horny Sex.
Don't forget it. Heavy on the horny and the sex.
Speaking of heavy, got the ball. Hev Hefner, the 40-year-old phenom, AKA Canary Hev.
Canary Hev.
Don't forget that.
Don't forget.
Don't forget Mr.
Mr. Hev.
Oh, I see the watch. Canary watch. Oh, my gosh.
Watch
my
every day, man.
God.
Humbly Have too.
Yeah, Humbly
Humbly
Hev.
Have been what's the name?
Humbly Hev.
He was Hack Have. He was Hack Have this week.
Yeah, they got me, man. Yo, you know what happened though?
What?
They didn't even hack me.
Who they hacked?
They hacked the shorty.
Oh,
my
wow.
homie.
That was the one. They sent the message to the
How
dick
they
page.
sent it to me, it
Okay.
made it seem like they hacked me, but it was fucking her.
Yeah.
I'm trying to delete my shit and all this time. The only reason why I found out, she come back talking about some we trying to having a beauty contest. Can you vote for me? This and that.
Oh, all right.
You don't get the fuck out of here. I said you almost.
So
got
you
me.
thought you was hacked just because of the message?
The way the message came across.
Oh, all right.
It was
all right.
like they sent me a joint like for a link talking about did you get this? I mean, did you send me this?
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I got like
You know how I notice, like, if it's people I immediately know, you know how I can tell when they get hacked? Because usually they put emojis up and the emojis don't be matching the complexion. They usually send like the yellow emoji hands or whatever.
That's true.
And that's the crazy part. Every time the girl, like, if that's my classmate, so anytime she hit me up, she'd say wine or whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
She
That's
hit
me too, yeah.
She came up from the rip, assalamu alaikum. Like, why are you? I should have knew better.
Good
Oh,
brother.
they said assalamu
They said,
alaikum?
assalamu alaikum.
Good brother.
Oh, wow. Damn, so we got Muslim scammers.
Bro,
The people who always do that to me is people that I don't talk to. Like, I think it was a couple that was like, can you help me? I'm stuck in like Instagram jail or something like that. Yeah. I don't even talk to you, and there's like a million people you can ask before you ask me. Yeah.
And then she kept pressing, did you get it? Did you get it? Man, if you don't get out my face.
Oh, no, once I seen this, it was the same photo that you put up. I was like, that shit dead. All right, I was like, this. I thought they got you. I was like, is this the message they sent you, bro? Like, I can't believe they got you with
You
this.
was trying to turn 50 into a 50 grand.
That's what I was trying to think. Like, did they have me on the, you know what I mean? I was selling a dream. No,
I ain't gonna lie. I was about to start talking to Hev like my
They
mom.
had you
like,
looking nutty.
like, why would you click the link?
Yeah, they had you looking nutty, bro.
I was like,
Nah, I
if
definitely
I didn't realize if they
I was
got
like,
you.
damn, what do you need? A couple dollars or something? Like, what you clicking that for? Like,
I definitely ain't clicked the link, though. But yeah, I thought
Damn, they got my man. 10 for 1,000.
I'm
said, yo, whatever y'all do, don't take no messages from me.
How bad this shit had me posting, man. I don't be in DMs, yo. That ain't me. You see that?
Had you on your munch shit. Had you out here looking like a munch. The
Real
skin
shit,
munch.
yeah. That shit had me heated
The
a little
skin
bit.
munch.
But nah, it wasn't me, man. How y'all feeling, though?
I'm good, man. That's another day above ground. I can't complain.
Hey, I can't complain, man. I feel good.
I feel good, man. It's my season, man. Sweater water. Sweater water.
Yeah, I can't decide to put it on or not. I like that sweater water.
Sweater water.
I can't decide to put my shit on or not.
Yeah, I love this.
It's like one day you got a hoodie on and one day you don't. The day start funny as shit. Like it'd be cold as shit in the morning and then it start to heat up and then again you need the hoodie later. Yeah. So I'm at all types of shit.
Bizarre.
But we that's what we got on tap today, episode 21. I put something in the chat and I wanted to talk about. It's like, do you hold your homies accountable? Do you hold the men in your life, like far as your brothers, if you got brothers, your uncles, your friends and stuff like that? Do you hold them to some standard of like what you supposed to be? Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, cause you know, men like. If I call you in my circle, you supposed to kind of reflect what I am. So, right. What I look like running around with a motherfucker don't take care of his kids, and he my best friend and shit like that. Right. Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind for as example.
Like, with that example, yeah, I would. Like, yeah, I couldn't be with nobody that was a fucking deadbeat.
Yeah, you know that's what I'm saying. Like, in general.
I would check you for sure. If you was a deadbeat, I had to check you. Or I just wouldn't fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
But like like other type shit, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like for some people, I just don't give a fuck. Like my immediate circle, yeah, I got.
That's what I'm saying. Does it depend on how close they is?
Yeah, definitely.
Like I know your brother and all that. Like
My
you,
brother for
but yeah,
sure.
yeah. But like motherfuckers are just like.
It depends on. I think it depends on the severity of what's going on.
Yeah. I have said a lot of time. I told him like when you be talking about motherfuckers, I told him they don't want to listen.
Heavy told a lot.
I tell him. That's what I'm saying. I tell him if you don't want to listen, I don't get so on you. Like,
I feel like every time I ask Hev about somebody, I'm like, man, I told him.
I've been telling them, man, motherfuckers don't want to listen to me. I don't know why, man. I've been around, man. I can tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, more like my brother for sure. Like I think. Out of anybody, I'm gonna hold him accountable because I feel like he definitely a reflection of me. Because I practically damn near raised him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. It's different.
So yeah, I definitely would check you like get your shit together, man.
That's the only people you feel like I feel like I'm preaching to, and I don't feel like like I gotta do it. Like you know what I mean? Right. Even when I feel like this shit ain't hitting home with the stuff I say, I still say it because like you folks. But another example is just like the men. Like, if you feel like you could save somebody a bump in the road, do you save them that bump in the road? Like, just from men experience?
Yeah, I would try. Like I said, if they don't want to listen, that's
yeah.
I'm always, I like talk. I like conversation. So I'll definitely give you what I know, the knowledge I know as far as.
Yeah, how far does that umbrella reach for y'all, though? Like, how, like we said, it's you talking about.
It's not big. My circle is not big anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, if it's to a point where I feel like it's somebody could be in danger, then you know I have to say something because I'm compelled to. But like, if it's just like yo, you gotta tighten up because so and so, like if it's shit with your kids and stuff like that. Like I can't tell everybody how to do shit with their kids.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I mean? People, it's too much pride in the way.
My moral compass be telling me to say shit to people that they like.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you should know. Like, if you don't know, it's my place to kind of tell you. But what you do with that information is like totally up to you.
Yeah,
that'd be my thing. Like, if I tell you, yo, watch that door, it's low, you might bump your head. You still going. And you still going there. Yeah. Do you once you bump your head, you be like, damn, I should listen to Hev.
Yeah. That's
what I be thinking. Like, should I listen to? I should listen.
Exactly.
To Hev. But yeah.
What about, all right, let's use another example. What about mistakes you made? Because, you know, we all been in relationships and stuff like that.
What's those? It's
like, and we fall. And I use this example for myself. It's like, and I think it happens a lot in the men community, us not practicing what we preach. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, telling our kids to, like, telling our boys to be like, you know, treat your lady good and don't cheat, and then turn around and being cheaters and stuff like that. Or like, you know what I mean?
But I think it's like, all right, so off experience, like I already fucked up. So if I can teach you to be better, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you to be better. Even though I know I'm doing my shit, like my shit already fucked up. Like,
I told people not to cheat when I was cheating.
Yeah.
I've told my like little cousins and stuff like that. You know, Chino real cool to me. I tell Chino don't cheat on his chick, and I was cheating at the time.
You don't want no business with this shit. Right?
But that's the thing. You telling them off of, like, listen, I'm deep. I'm already in too deep. Like I already fucked up. I'm already fucked up. I'm already gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But you don't have to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me be the example of you.
But I think that was my biggest flaw.
So hopefully you wanted to go there.
Yeah, I feel you. But I thought that was my biggest flaw with people advising me, is that I felt like nobody was telling me do the right thing and was also doing it. So I take a lot of advice from people with a grain of salt because they're not doing this shit.
See, my shit was the opposite. My uncles and my cousins wasn't telling. They was telling me to do the wrong shit.
All right.
They was telling me to do all the wrong shit. Like, they wasn't giving, like, I'm probably still to this day, they ain't give you no advice to be like, no, go home.
See, my pop was on some, like, you know, get married, settle down with the girl you with or whatever like that. Y'all been together all the time.
None of my folks ever.
And the whole time, every time I see him, he got a new chick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to live that life. Like,
none of them. And I've been at their weddings and everything. They never tell you, yo, go get married, like, settle down. It was always the opposite, bro. Live your life.
See, I mean, some people I know is like, it's an underlying thing that exists. Like, yo, what I say all the time, we in the pussy race, and like, it ain't till you take yourself out the pussy race. You always in the pussy race.
Right.
I think I've been fortunate enough to have people around me that pretty much hold themselves accountable. Like, like Hev during this week, where he was like, you know, my bad for saying bitch a lot in the episode. You know what I mean? And we didn't like, I had planned on saying something to him, but like I didn't have to because Hev took accountability to be like.
We had a conversation about that. No, we didn't.
In all actuality, my mom, she hit me like, yo, you say bitch a lot.
I think that's the first thing that hit with me is like when you showed me your folks will listen to it. I'm like, I know they telling him to stop saying bitch. yeah.
She did it to this episode. She said, in the text, she said, no, you say bitch a lot. She said, She said, you say nigga a lot, you say bitch a lot. Like, I said, well, that's how I talk. That's how I always talk. But then I thought about it. I'm like, maybe she right. I'm going to stop calling women bitches. Because I shouldn't.
Just for the podcast or in general sense?
In general. I caught myself a lot this week since I, held myself accountable. I caught myself a lot. I had to stop. Like,
what about the word bitch then? How y'all think that fall? Is that?
Hold on. Round of applause.
I'm trying. I ain't all the way cured.
While we on
you ain't gonna do a cold turkey.
The topic of bitch, like, do you ever think that's like suitable to call a woman, or like is it like does it fall with like the N word, like all right when niggas?
That's how I feel like it's like us
because you have
niggas like. Not really because I'm not. I would never be like, yo. Bitch,
I'm weird because I've never felt compelled to call a woman a bitch. I'll call a man a bitch like that though. Like if we in an argument, because that's how degrading the word is to me. Like if I'm really trying to like,
I think I based it on how ignorant she is. Yeah. Like if you hold yourself to a low standard and you act like, I'll be like figuratively speaking, and we having a bitch conversation, so I'm using it in context. So it's like that bitch crazy, or that bitch get on my nerves, or that bitch dumb.
I think I've
used it that way.
Yeah, I think I've used it.
Yeah, but if you carry yourself with none of those like fractions, then I'm just like I'll use more womanly terms and stuff like that.
Listen, I had knockout, drag punching fights with women. With my baby mom and stuff like that, and never called her a bitch during the arguments.
Hold on. You said knockout?
No, I ain't never. No.
Oh, all right.
I'm just saying.
All right, because it's gonna be a whole different discussion.
Yeah, we got to hold some more people accountable.
I never put my hands on one. But I'm just saying, I had like
I understand.
Strong ass arguments where like she say the most disrespectful shit, and I never called them bitches.
Right.
But so for some reason, when I talk,
Oh, all right. So it's regular conversation.
Yeah, like it's just I say this bitch that, this bitch that, but I don't.
But do you think it based on like, all right, so
it's a lot of women's bitches out here. Like I don't know.
Do you think you base it on when you had a conversation? I feel like people use it when they have like men conversation.
Yeah.
Like when you're not sitting around, when you sit around women, you don't just use it in regular context.
I do sometimes. Yeah. Like if I'm at the job and we having a conversation, I'll be like, yo, that bitch crazy.
But it's always in a degrading form of like, she crazy, not just to say,
no.
that bitch get married or that bitch, she work hard. Like it's never in a complimentary thing.
No.
Yeah. I think it's a bad term that like men use like in groups of men.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I try to be like conscious of using it.
But
then you had a women too though they go my nigga, and that's all they had. That's the only way they know how to explain they dude or they boyfriend or whatever like that.
All the time.
Cause my nigga ain't gonna do that. Like, why you gotta be your nigga? Why can't he just be like, why can't he just be like your boyfriend or your man? So I don't know. It's a lot of words we just need to kill.
We should stop.
And like just stop using the terms and stuff like that.
I'm definitely gonna check myself and try to use it a lot less, if not at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dudes. Then she went on to say, I listen to every episode. I love the dip.
Thank you, my dudes.
I love y'all, but
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Hev. We appreciate you.
I think if we could be conscious of our conversation, then we can be like, why do I talk a certain way when I'm here, but I talk a certain way there? Just
or even at work. Like I would never talk like that at work.
But then again, that's the rawness of us, though. Like, true. I mean, it's organic. You know what I mean? Like this is how we is.
But then when you break yourself down to that layer of like comfortability, you have to look at yourself and think like,
why am I comfortable?
Enough saying that.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I appreciate you saying that, man. I do. Because you didn't have to. I don't want to tell a grown man how to talk. You know what I mean?
I think we do. I think not to tell people how to talk, but we don't have to be as ignorant as we choose to be sometimes.
True.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah. I would have been cool with y'all being like, yo, you say bitch a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And I would have checked.
How much stuff you think people do? So is it a problem that Hev say bitch on the air, or is it a problem that Hev say bitch? So is it a problem because is going to like how much, and that's not just for this platform and not just like to single out this situation, but how much thing people do, like, are people like just when you say people, they not racist because they know people you can get in trouble for it, or are you really racist behind your closed door? Right. So are we offended that Hev say it, or is like if the mics wasn't on, would you have told them to stop saying
I wouldn't have
bitch?
noticed it if it wasn't for the pod, right? Because
because you're conscious of like people listen to it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes you get so comfortable with how people just are,
right?
Yeah.
You don't even really realize it until you put yourself in a situation where you're like, yo, you gotta relax a little bit. Like I've gone on like I've gone out with like women, right? We go to restaurants and they just don't have a certain restaurant etiquette. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was them using bitch and all this stuff. Like, I mean, like we had a nice restaurant. Right. Why are you talking like this?
Or just controversial? I noticed that like a lot of people that like going out with people that we work with, like the women that work inside where we was at, they want to fight, or they everything.
Yeah.
Why she looking at me like that? Oh, relax.
Right, relax.
We not in there. Like, you know what it is. So
it's just a certain level of decorum you should have. I don't know. It is what it is. But back to the topic at hand. So we was talking about
accountability.
We had said, well, we were talking about accountability, but we had said something about what was it? About damn.
You lost it.
I did lose it. I did lose it. My fault. I'm in the middle of talking to this Uber, talking to my mother to get her the Uber, and you know how like.
Yeah,
people over 50 are just like.
First of all, moms in general.
Moms in general, love my mother to death, but like the fact that I have to order you the Uber makes it a lot harder. What this needs to be right now.
Yeah,
but no, it was some. We had said something, but it was something along the lines of holding our peoples accountable or our kids accountable, something like that. And PNB Rock, obviously the news came out about PNB Rock's killer.
Yeah. Apparently,
it was a family affair.
Definitely a family affair.
Yeah, it just came out that the mom was involved too, right?
Well, that's not the kid. That's his wife. That's the dad's wife, but it's the kid's stepmom or whatever the case may be. Okay. But it was, and they looking for a fourth person.
Wow.
Because they said somebody tipped
them off about where they were.
All y'all that gave that lady Hev thinking that she set that man up, her baby father, man.
That's what I be talking about with just people reacting.
Right.
Like when we said this on the pod when it happened, it was like, yo, sometimes you need to sit back and let people grieve.
Right.
Like before you play, even if it came out, it was her fault for doing that or something the case may be.
Right.
Like what happened to the space you get to grieve? She lost somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing with Pop Smoke too, they was like, oh, he posted his address and that's how they found out where he at. So people spent time blaming him instead of just being sad that you lost a life or whatever like that. And I think that's crazy.
And that was because the story came out that the guy was out they was eating in there, right?
Yeah, he
came in with the
he got word,
and he called them.
He called them to hit the lick.
And then for you to be a father and you send your son in there.
I think that's my main problem with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's everybody's problem with it, but it's like
that's horrible.
You dropped your son off. So allegedly, how the story went was the father dropped his son off a couple blocks away from the Roscoe's
and let him walk to it.
Let him walk there, and the son winded up robbing him. Then the father looped around and picked him up.
Yeah.
The fact that you even putting your 17-year-old in situations to where, they can be involved in shit like that, or if you'd even convolute this shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's
put your son in a position where his life is now over.
What type of relationship you and your son have?
That's
that y'all going to go hit a lick together like that.
And they said something about the son was on house arrest or something, right? He had the angle on it.
17 on house arrest.
It wasn't working or something because he wasn't even supposed to be out there.
Wow.
My thing is like what level of ignorance is that you think that like not you going out there to commit the crime. The crime is wrong all the way together, but to incorporate your son into it
and let him involve himself directly into it.
Like he your homie?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, where do we lose the compass that we want better for our kids? Like, I
wouldn't be surprised if that motherfucker start telling on him. No, it was.
Oh, they already telling because that's how you figure out as a fourth person involved.
The dad telling the son like. It was
of course.
It was his idea.
He already he look at his son like just another nigga on the street. Mm-hmm. And then me just like thinking of all aspects of this, and I don't want to sound insensitive. A part of me think that if you don't send an adolescent in there to do that type of crime, Rock might still be alive because Evidently, the dad didn't want to hurt nobody because he didn't even want to go in there.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, somebody when he senses like, all right, give me that shit, and he don't want to give it up.
Right.
I'm not gonna kill him over it.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like only somebody with an adolescent mind to think that, like, you know what? The only way that he probably thinking that I can't go out this damn Roscoe chicken, whatever, without that stuff, or I'm gonna have to deal with my dad.
Yeah.
So you putting his mind in a crazy spot, and like the way his pop could have told him, don't come out here without them chains.
That he
Yeah,
right
exactly.
There. The way the story went, like he sat there and took everything,
And it's
Down to the rings office, man.
down to the rings on the and took the baby mom shit.
and threatened to shoot her in her head too.
Like that shit was ridiculous.
And he very well might have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Had the situation been different, if they had been alone, not in a restaurant, he very well might have.
And
Nothing to stop him.
the whole transaction might have went totally different. There was a grown man and Rock probably thinking like, grown man, he probably give up all everything.
Yeah.
A kid, he looking at him, he probably don't think
Like,
he
go
even
ahead,
have a
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
You're not taking nothing off me.
Right.
Or I'm not gonna have a reputation that no 16, 17-year-old kid took it from me.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, no, I'm defending my honor, and it takes a turn for the worse in a split second. Like, you know what I mean?
But I mean, we from Philly, so like we know like these young boys is different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to say I'm pretty sure it's every city,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Definitely.
But like we
Exactly.
have a direct correlation. We see it every day. The most prominent offenders in gun violence is between the ages of 14 and 19,
Look,
21 probably. Like,
And if you doing that type of crime with your dad, he doesn't live a regular child, like a normal child, a normal 15, 16, 17-year-old lifestyle.
right.
Right,
Already on house arrest, probably been in and out of juvenile system and all that.
for sure.
Those kids that are adults, they live adult life, they just not adult age.
Right.
So, and then it's just a sad story to put it all together. And then I think they coercing the mom in it because when they was looking for them, she kind of told them that they wasn't where they was supposed to be at or whatever. They found them in like Vegas. They burnt the car up and stuff. You know what I got? One thing I took from this, and this is just me thinking, it was like, I'm glad that they found who did it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? A lot of times in these rapper cases, they don't find who did it.
Right.
And it's like, I'm glad that his murder don't just walk the street and it's just another slain rapper and no justice is brought upon.
done right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it tempers the whole thing because there was a lot of like underbubbling of like, oh, West Coast versus the East Coast again because it's like rappers going out there and just getting killed. With somebody being like locked up and justice going to be served, hopefully, maybe that'll like tame some of that down.
Yeah, if there's any bright spot in this,
Yeah,
the fact that they
and they found this killer fast too. Like,
found him real fast.
yeah,
But that shit, the niggas is telling like they ain't. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was all from somebody telling like.
But all that West Coast like checking in stuff, who you check in about a random motherfucker? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit is like what Whack would have did for him? Like, you know what I mean? Like who? Whack not gonna stop no smoker, no bum, no crumb from trying to rob you.
Clearly, man, they seen it lit. He needed that. For whatever
Exactly.
reason. For whatever reason, and a few lives is lost.
To bring it more local, the whole thing that happened at Roxobrough High School, 5 gunmen jumped out and shot at 5 teenagers, hitting 5 teenagers.
Coming from a football scrimmage or something.
Yeah.
Hit 5, killed 1, the 14-year-old.
Yeah. Killed one, the 14-year-old, it was 17-year-old, 16. All kids in high school age.
Right. And Roxborough, that zip code is like the lowest crime in the city.
Yeah.
In the
It's
city. Like that shit is sad. You can't even go to football games nowadays, bro.
yeah.
And you know what's crazy? My son, he played for West Catholic. I forgot who
Right.
he played. But whoever it was, he had sent me a text like, Dad, it's supposed to be something going on at the game. I don't think it's gonna be safe for y'all to come.
So he heard about it.
Right.
This before Roxborough.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It is like for some reason it's because that's what happened with these games this week. It was threats.
Yeah, so everybody they cancel games.
They doing that to all the games, but for this game it was like a big game. It was I don't know who it was, but it was like the game of the week, and it was supposed to be something happening after the game where they was gonna shoot the game up or something like that. So like he ain't want my daughter and my son didn't come, so I just came. It was only me.
Right.
That went because I'm not. You.
It's sad though.
There.
It's sad.
You know what I'm saying? Something happened. You there and your parents not there. No.
Right.
But thank God nothing happened at that joint. But yeah, it's something going on. I don't know it's serious or they just playing, but
or they just trying to get every game canceled and all that.
They
Like,
might be. You know how kids are, but
it's definitely
still like
something going
we
around.
not in the day and age where you could like
where you can
try
take
to take the chances. Yeah.
Exactly.
but it's that bubbling underline for all these games. Any event where it's a lot of people at, when you talking about shots being fired at, what was that, Made in America or something like that? The 4th of July, something happened there. Any event where there's a lot of crowds is like everybody has anxiety that something's gonna get shot up in this city.
Right.
So that's always the threat. And like that's what I heard from everybody. Like all the public school, Catholic League school games in Philly was canceled because of threats of shooting them up. Like every game.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, ain't no bitch in my blood. Though. I was sitting at the game and it was like 10 of these niggas came in with the poo shiesties on. I got right off that bleacher and went somewhere else.
Let
bro.
me
like,
go.
I ain't got time for this. Yo.
And it's sad that they walk around like that, man. You don't know who your victim is. You can't like you can't ID your victim or you don't know who it is because the good kids walking around dressed up just like the ones that's robbing people now. Like you know what I mean? You kind of knew like everybody else wearing different stuff. This motherfucking all black. Like, yeah. All right, you look suspicious to me. Now everybody looks suspicious. Anybody with newbies on, anybody got 990s on, I think they robbing people. That's just my opinion.
Newbies.
And you know what make me feel crazy?
And the poo shiesties.
Yeah, what make me feel crazy? Like I'm identifying people just like they quote unquote say like people do. Like the white people. That's me. Yeah, I'm profiling the shit out of people. Yeah, exactly.
These niggas came up. I'm in the smoothie truck today. They came up to me talking about, you know how I work Cash App? Man, go ahead with that.
Go ahead with
I
that,
ain't,
dog.
come on, man.
I'm
I ain't
cool.
even into that, man.
I just was that. I was walking my dog yesterday, and like I just don't take things for granted no more. Like nothing's taken for granted. So like I walked out the house and just had my dog, and I said, matter of fact, get the fuck back here. Let me go get this gun real fast in case I gotta turn one over on it. Cause you can't even fight nobody. Before like somebody try to rob you, can fight them.
Man.
Right.
They gonna rob you and shoot you. Like why? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. That shit.
It's just bad, man. Then it's what gets me the most is kids. Like the level of how many people that are being killed from the age 17 to like just like a couple nights ago. Two like a 14 and a 13-year-old out at 3:00 in the morning. What the fuck are you doing out at 3:00 in the morning? And I think people don't realize that people don't have parents. There's a lot of kids out here. These kids that they say where your parents at, they don't have parents. They all on drugs and they getting raised by their grandma.
Right.
So like anybody who had a rightful mind, like it's not decent people at home and they kids just in the street.
Right.
Like no, it's a lot of kids out here that's in foster care, ran away or raised by their grandparents because they mom and they dad on drugs. Like you know what I mean? So it's a lot of that existing.
That's true. That is true, but I don't know. Something gotta give, man, because this city is burning. It's going down, man.
Man, you empty the jails out. What you expect motherfuckers to do?
Speaking of which, fucking Larry Krasner out here talking about. He basically said you wanted to kick me out with blood and dust. Basically,
I ain't going nowhere. Why would I resign?
Why would I resign?
He said they voted for me overwhelmingly. Like,
At this point, it's just the ego talking. It's not him trying to be.
Well, he won. That's what the thing is. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So did Trump.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
Trump. So
I think it's just a natural balance to a lot of things, and that's the hardest thing is finding the balance. What's the balance of like freeing people? Because we've seen a lot of people sit on State Road for 3 years, going down there just waiting for a date for them to tell them like, yo, we throwing your case out.
Yeah,
like you done sat a year and a half because we waiting for them to throw your case out. What's the balance of fixing that and then keeping motherfuckers who actually doing crimes, like not giving people who have an unauthorized gun 12 to 23 months. Like, why are you only getting 23 months for a gun? Like, so it's a balance.
How y'all feel about the directive that they signed about if you license to carry, you can't have it in the park or a rec center?
in the rec centers. That's where most of the shit be going down. I'm tripping. I'm bringing my.
That's like saying that shit is like the signs no drug zone and all that.
Right. You think motherfuckers,
that's the hot zones for stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, they said I can't do drugs here. I can't do my illegal drugs here. Oh no, I'll do them somewhere else. Like what?
I mean, it's tough to tell somebody they can't carry their gun somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially in this city.
In this city, yeah.
Especially in this
That's
city.
why I said I'd rather be. I ain't trying to tell nobody to break the law, but I'd rather be judged by 12 than buried by 6.
Yeah, that's me. Like,
Facts.
like I had to get my kids from Jersey sometimes, and I always got my gun on me. So if I gotta go to Jersey, which is not cool for me to do, but I'll go to Jersey with my gun before I go all the way the fuck back home.
I do too.
I'm not going back home, or I'm not leaving my gun home that day just because
You just
I'm
gotta
going to
separate
Jersey.
it. You just gotta separate the clip from.
My shit be in my trunk.
Or do that. They can't go in your trunk. But.
Yeah, so I just put it in my trunk. But my thing is like, I'm not turning all the way around and leaving my gun home for the day because I gotta go to Jersey.
Right.
You got that. Bringing my thing with me.
So many people I know, like, rewind 5 years ago, I didn't even have my license to carry, and I was just like, I'm alright, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And like pandemic happened and all that, and then it's like everybody like,
Yeah, that was another product of the pandemic. Everybody got their fucking gun.
Everybody got their gun license
just to say they got it though. Like,
yeah. But it's so
had-
many people that carry because they just scared.
Yeah.
Like, you scared.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand about the pandemic, right? You buying your gun for shit to really go down. Do you really need your gun license if shit really go down? Like if it's like martial law, apocalypse type shit, like I'm never gonna be like, yo, I got my gun license. Like, it's cool.
The first couple people do though.
People was worried
Before
about
it get
zombies
crazy.
and everything else. You think a zombie is worried about if I got my license to carry or not? Like, type time is y'all though?
General public think you need your license to carry to buy a gun.
Buy a gun, yeah.
That license is just for you to tuck it and not let people know you have it on you.
Right.
You can put that shit on your hip and walk around with it if you like, you know what I mean? If you buy it or whatever. For you to tuck it and be discreet with it, that's what you get the license for, right?
Right.
So I don't know. That's what the thing is. But like you said, like, what the fuck? I don't know. Even the toilet paper thing. You go back to the pandemic. What the fuck you need toilet paper? Why everybody was like, like, why toilet paper though?
All right.
Because they ain't want to not be able to wipe
Get your ass in the shower. Like, get your ass in the
That's what I
shower.
was thinking. Like,
If you don't use soap and water,
Yeah.
what you think? The cavemen survived out here, or
So if it's no water, if it's no running water, how good is that to wipe your ass? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. Like, I never got the toilet paper thing. They love that fucking toilet. Not even toothpaste, just toilet paper.
You gotta be a sick motherfucker to buy off all the store brand toilet paper. Not even like it was everything.
Everything was off. Now what you doing with all that store bought toilet paper? That shit hard as
One
shit.
ply toilet paper.
Yeah, that shit
Then you get it
hard.
on your hands and everything else as you wipe. Now you still dirty. Like what you use to wash your hands? Soap and water.
Exactly.
The same thing you could have used to wash your ass.
Don't get your ass in that shower. Don't get the fuck in the shower.
That's why
Me personally, I think everybody need a shower after they take a shit
I was
anyway.
about to
I feel the same way.
I don't even.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even like shitting it out if I'm not
No,
home
I'm
because I
cool.
like to. If I shit, I want to wash.
I want to wash up. Yeah. I don't smell right. That shit still be on me somewhere. I be like,
Exactly. Like, oh.
exactly. Exactly.
Real shit. Though.
Speaking of dirty shit.
Uh-oh.
So the American Academy of Pediatrics has updated its diagnosis and treatment of its lice policy for the first time since 2015 due to the stigma that may be associated with the infestation. The organization says that the infestations are neither a health hazard nor a sign of poor hygiene, but can result in significant stigma and psychological stress. So basically what they're trying to tell people is now that
You can't
your kids,
alienate people.
No, well your kids can go to school with lice.
Yeah.
You want some real ignorant shit?
What?
Until I got to the jail, I was always told that only white people get lice.
I heard that too.
You did?
I've never heard that, but everybody I've known that has lice.
No. I think that could be facts. I don't think that's ignorant because I think.
Had it. Had lice.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm
they
gonna have to
do
bleep that
like-
name out. You know
No, my
he
fault.
heavy Sue boy.
Yeah,
my
don't.
fault.
Yeah,
That's
he
cool.
go-
Ain't nothing but a beep.
Beep that out.
Oh yeah, that is true.
He had it. And then KU the dudes.
I thought it was like what they used to tell us is that if you had course here, you couldn't get it,
Right.
and black people only got like wingworm.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
up until we got to the job, I thought that
Can't
and
get
then
that.
Yeah, I can't get. I'm cool. When they were saying
The
lice
fact
check,
that they saying in the journal though is like we know that it can spread and we know it's nasty and all that case like that, but we don't want to make nobody feel bad about having it so they can still go to school.
And then you got that.
This world too soft.
Tell y'all right now, my kids get lice. It's gonna be
It's
gonna be some
trouble.
hell to pay.
Yeah.
Real shit though.
You cannot say that. She's struggling. Yeah, every day something new come out and it's like less and less shocking to me of like how soft this world is.
Soft as shit. I remember when they a while ago when they took dodgeball out of school, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to play dodgeball in school.
You can't play dodgeball. I ain't seen dodgeball in school either.
Can't play
I see
dodgeball in
kickball. I ain't never seen dodgeball.
Can't play
Hold
dodgeball,
on, why?
bro.
Because I guess it's like the weaker ones against the stronger ones. And they feel like
Listen,
that's
soft.
any sport.
Yeah.
Try playing
Soft.
basketball with against a bunch of 6-footers and y'all are under 5 foot.
Yeah.
But you know how when you play dodgeball, you always going for the motherfucker. You know you're gonna get first.
Yeah.
So it's like you singling them out. Like
Even then, there's a lot of things they incorporated. Like they don't let you pick teams no more. They kind of just break them in half.
Well,
Like,
that's why your teacher's supposed to, get in between that and dictate who's on whose team.
Yeah, but before, remember, you used to be able to pick your team, and then like it's the last kid to get picked, and like, nah, you take them.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of that. It's just like splitting teams. Like
soft.
All right.
soft world.
Soft world.
That's what Trump meant when he was talking about that.
Yeah.
Yo, good thing it did come from the pandemic though. They got rid of Confederate flags. I thought they should have been got rid of them.
Like that's a
Yeah, like it's a law. You can't fly them no more. Now you know what I think they need to change is stop sending the fucking weatherman out in them category 4 and 5 storms. Like, it's no need for us to.
we know it's raining.
Like in the
outside.
day of old news, the day of old news where people wasn't able to share. I understand you putting the weatherman out so we can get a sense of the severity.
Right.
But I seen a million pictures of people flooded. You don't have to put that white guy out there in all them storms just to let me know.
No, real shit though. God bless Florida, man. I think it was like 33 people that died. But at the same time, if they told y'all this shit gonna be bad, get the fuck out.
No, I just watched the whole. I sent y'all that to the chat. Explain on. I'm heavy documentary type shit. So it's a joint called Explain where they explain things on Netflix. So they had one on hurricanes. So they said sometimes it might start out in the ocean and say that it's only going to be like a category 1,
Right.
And then it before it hit land, it dropped.
Just,
Yeah.
But they were saying this one was gonna be bad from the rip.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is some people don't have anywhere to go.
Some
That's
people
what I
can't
was thinking,
afford.
too.
Some people can't afford to leave either.
Because I know when Katrina happened, a lot of people just didn't have a place to actually go. That
And
was
I was thinking that, like, damn, they probably
Especially
ain't got nowhere to go. Like, that's fucking
in the South, when you think slaves was brought over and we've been in that area, some people don't have family that migrated up north.
True.
They whole family down there. Then I saw something on Puerto Rico where the one part they said is like the worst part that always get hit or whatever. Like I can't remember the name of the town, but it's like a town that settled with like Puerto Ricans and blacks to get settled together or whatever like that. And they don't want to leave because it's like they sacred ground. Like this where we don't want to just abandon this town because this was all our history. Like our history exists right here, and it's like we don't want to just leave if we don't have to.
So they going down with the town.
They kind of going down with the town, but the thing is, what they say is like, so that town's not too far from San Juan. So when the people come to rebuild and they do like the relief funds and all that, do you help the poor people out or do you help the millionaires out who fluctuate the income? Because if you don't help the millionaires out, they leave and your town lose money.
I said, well, we know how that's going to work.
Yeah, so exactly. So they send all the relief and they help all the expensive people. I mean, the rich people build up because they stay and then fluctuate the economy.
Right.
The poor people just move or just deal with it.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But the whole series, if anybody watch it, is like explain like where hurricanes starting to go and how they used to be worse than that back in the day. Before you can even know that shit was coming, that shit just was hitting, and like hundreds of thousands of people was dying. So that's the weather section. Yeah.
It's sunny, 86 outside.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like this. Parents are funny.
Yeah.
My mom just asked if the Uber was paid for. Anyway, so we can make that time.
That's scary too. Like not knowing technology, but yeah, that's definitely time.
It's time because I gotta figure out where the fuck is going on. Anyway, that's episode.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
I like
Speaking of mom, my mom called me today talking about, you on the podcast?
Huh?
Yeah, she did.
Like a different one or?
I don't know. She said my pop called her and told her that I was doing like, I guess like a dad podcast. So I'm pretty sure she knew I was doing the other one, but she like, what happened? You ain't going with Miles no more? What happened to your friends? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that no more. I'm doing something with
We gotta get Trigger and Miles on the show, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get our moms on the show
Priest?
too. Shout out to Priest.
That's my dog. Don't do that.
Oh yeah. Priest too. My fault. No, my fault. Yeah, Priest too. I'm just saying, it's a dad podcast, man.
It's
Like,
a dad podcast.
yeah, I mean, we can
I
invite
understood
Priest.
what you
We
said.
just
I'm
had
fucking with you.
Julivia on here last.
Yeah,
Come
we
on,
can
cut it
invite
the fuck out. Y'all backtracking.
I'm just thinking about the dad aspect of it. That's all.
Oh yeah. Let's get him up here, man. We could do a.
Let's get our moms up here.
I
too.
think probably I don't even next week or the week after something. I'm gonna get my man A up here, so I want to talk about some shit.
This 2021.
Guest Tober.
Episode Kevin Garnett.
Just
not
guess
doing
your head. Don't listen to nothing.
we're
I
not
said.
doing that.
Don't listen to nothing. I
They
said.
come when they come, man.
Even when I put up the video this
Sport
week.
jinxed that shit. That's what he Sport jinxed it because it was against that day. And
No, but I told you though, I said this shit don't go how y'all think it's gonna go. I said we had that shit all lined up and everybody cancel.
We should put pressure on them niggas. Just kept
No, but me,
posting.
yeah. Me,
Tag them, put their pictures up. Yeah, they gonna be on the show.
Put the pressure on them.
I be doing a lot of lying on this joint. Don't listen to me because I said that even when I did we put the bug out joint.
yeah, you never
I was
put
like,
that
yeah, I'm
up.
gonna put the video up there. I got
I'm
y'all.
definitely gonna put it up. We always say we gonna put it up. I'm definitely.
I'm
gonna
like,
put it
yo,
up.
this nigga sport a liar.
That's cool, man.
Sport.
Sport crazy.
But this episode 21.
It's the dip.
It's the dip. We out.
We out.
We out.